Thanks a lot for joining us on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I know the hot button issue is the judiciary and technology, but we still need to talk about our democracy and just how you think the judiciary has fared in the last 21 years, looking at administration of justice.
Yeah, it's been a somewhat arduous journey for the judiciary, considering the very terrible circumstances and conditions under which they operate. Now, the Nigerian judiciary is, if not the only one that currently records everything in longhand. The judge sits there. In Lagos State, for instance, each judge on a day, some of them have 30, 40 cases that they have to do. They have to file returns every quarter. They must deliver, I think, at least 6 judgments a quarter. Now, under what conditions? As at I think this would be about 1993, the Lagos State Judiciary started the implementation of the verbatim recorder thing. And today, that is yet to be fully functional. We still do not have a court where the judge doesn't have to take any note. You cannot get a record of proceedings immediately after the sitting. So whilst the judges themselves are doing tremendous hard work, difficult work in difficult circumstances, the system itself, it's not giving them the robust environment that is required. The funding is not there. Their health, several things are still lacking that the judges require for an effective and efficient work. So how have they done? They've done very well with the tools they have. However, there is still a lot more to be done. But that does not lie in the hands of the judges.
Yeah, you talked about funding as one of the major challenges and bringing it back to the current democracy that we're in.
Yes.
You know, we saw the president there signing that order, granting them financial autonomy, even though that's still an issue that they're trying to debate. Mm-hmm. Is that the kind of reform that we're looking at, just financial autonomy?
Financial autonomy, it doesn't even need the president to do anything. The Constitution already says they are autonomous. The judiciary is distinct in every respect from the legislature, from the executive. Each has its own budget once it's passed. Each one is to get its own direct funding. But what do we have? The executive seeks to still do Father Christmas, or if you're a good boy, I give you something. If you're not a good boy, oh well, I'll come back to you later on. However, the challenge with the executive order, it's not to the extent that it's seeking to implement the constitutional provisions, but it's in the fact that the president himself, in trying to do that, is overreaching. Now, the executive order is giving instructions to officials of the state, not of the federal government now. If the directive were specific as to what should come from the federal budget to NJC then distributes to heads of court. But the moment he begins to attempt to say the Accountant General of the Federation should deduct the allocation of a state from its allocation, deducts what they didn't give to the judiciary in the last budget or at the last round of disbursements, deduct and pay directly to them. He's overreaching himself, and he shouldn't do that. That act itself is unconstitutional. Like the Yoruba says, cutting off the head is not a cure for headache. And this is what the president is doing. He can't do that.
All right. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Olukayode Enito. I wish we had more time to talk more, but thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on the News at 10 tonight.
Thank you very much.